This is UniTalk, the podcast series of the University of Debrecen. We've saved you a seat. In each episode, we'll show you a different aspect of life at UD. Students, professors, and researchers will take you behind the scenes to talk about their life, work, and passion.
Hello, this is UniTalk, the new podcast series of the University of Debrecen. This is Esther and Zsófi.
Hi.
We are the hosts of the podcast today. We also have Professor Attila Kiss with us, who is a nutrition scientist and a lecturer at the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences of the University of Debrecen. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Have a nice day.
Today we are going to talk about nutrition, functional food, and discuss various aspects of modern dietary trends. Could you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about who you are and about your daily work at the Faculty of Agriculture?
Oh, what a complex question. I'm a nutrition scientist. I graduated here at Debrecen University 25 years ago as a chemist, but I found the topic of functional foodstuff highly relevant and actual in recent days, as our improvement of our health needs several types of contribution of different professions like chemists, nutrition scientists, microbiologists, biotechnologists. That's why it's such a complex area that I set up a complex group involving several scientists. So I think nutrition science and dealing with functional foodstuffs represents a highly relevant and very complex area of our recent days. I was concentrating in the last decades on development of novel functional foodstuffs, and my results could involve some patents as well, development of some know-hows and technological innovations. At the University of Debrecen, Department of Food Science, I act as a lecturer of functional foodstuff and food chemistry as well.
Is there a special reason why you chose this area?
Yes, because our routine work involve a very wide contact with representatives of industrial sector. And industrial sector, so representative of food sector, food manufacturers, food industrial enterprises, formulated the demand that they would need professional assistance in terms of coming up with novel foodstuffs of health promoting effect. That's why our team, and of course my work, is just a reflection on these demands, and we are in high compliance with these recent consumers and manufacturers' demand, namely giving professional responses to the current need of health promoting and supporting, facilitating our health condition. Functional foodstuff doesn't signify any means of medicines, so they cannot be regarded as tablets, pills, and any medicines, because they are very efficient tools of prevention. So we shouldn't regard these functional foodstuffs as a miraculous agent, but if you have the commitment to improve your health condition, the immune status of your body, and to feel better, or to improve the well-being of your family members, I think very rapidly you will be navigated to the field of functional foodstuff. But functional foodstuff elaboration needs professionals' work. That's why our team is keen on investigating novel bioactive compounds, the action mechanism of these bioactive compounds, of real and justified health-promoting effect. I think that's the real novelty, and that's the essence of our work. It's not the mixing of, let me say, vitamin C or vitamin D or selenium or zinc, what's really well-known and long-established health-promoting and immune system-supporting agents, but you are about, or our team is about to come up with scientific arguments in terms of the actual positive biological impacts of these compounds and the foodstuff incorporating these specific bioactive agents.
Mm-hmm. So, what is nutrition science exactly?
It's another complex issue because, as I mentioned before, nutrition science involved food chemistry, food microbiology, involves, of course, the mechanism, revealing of action mechanism of different foodstuff. You have to be aware of the physiology of the human being, and I have to say that itself to map the metabolism and to reveal intrinsic questions of physiology is not exactly the same in your case or in my case, because I've got definitely different enzyme storage and various enzyme what is represented in my gastrointestinal tracts surely differs from that of your enzyme verticum and the series of enzyme found in you. That's why nowadays the personalized nutrition is coming into fashion, and there are no general know-hows or general wisdoms what can be integrated in your diet, and that's why it's very dangerous to believe in just one sort of suggestions or to consume just one type of food, because you have got a very specific digestion system and way of metabolism. That's why you have to pay attention to the reaction of your own body, because it gives you very specific signals and you have to take them into consideration. I don't want to go much deeper, but if you are interested I can explain in details, but what we have to recall and have to remember that the individual type of nutrition is the issue which will come into forefront of interest in the coming decades and years. So, and believe me, there are no general 100% wisdoms in this field. So, if someone tells you that, oh, I'm a nutrition scientist, well trained, and I know everything, I think that's really a fake, and don't believe that. Please ask in this case in which territory is a specific field of interest, and very shortly it will be clarified that, let me say, this guy or lady is highly professional in the way of microbes or the mapping of the microbiome of your bowel system, or this guy is a very good analyst and can detect the traces of vitamin D or can detect the antioxidant status of your blood plasma and so on. But nutrition science involves the contribution of several scientists and pieces of arguments from a lot of sciences.
You mentioned that there are trends in nutrition science. What is the recent trend of this area today?
Functional foodstuffs. That's why we are here and talking about functional foodstuff. Let me clarify this term. What do we mean by functional foodstuff? Functional foodstuff is a specific foodstuff of high added value. That's a term which is very coming into fashion nowadays. And this high added value signifies that it involves the efforts of scientists. So this functional foodstuff should be based on scientific efforts or scientific experiments, namely the specific biochemical or physiological benefits should be certified by means of scientific tools. And that's a critical issue because, let me say, a vegetable oil or sunflower oil containing vitamin D can be regarded as functional foodstuff, but if you use it to make, let me say, fried steak or an other cooked meal, that will lose the vitamin D content due to the heat treatment. That's why it cannot be regarded as a functional foodstuff and vitamin D containing vegetable oil anymore. That's why it will lose this term. And we should come up with arguments certifying that these bioactive agents, it can be vitamin C, D, or anyway, vitamin B complex as well, should be endowed by a long-lasting health-promoting effect, and they should be having an endurance in terms of this action, biological action.
It's really impressive how a huge effect on our health can be made with nutrition and with decisions made regarding nutrition. I assume that nowadays I'm not the only one who's taking special care.
Let me bother you with one statistical data.
Yeah.
Currently, nearly 60% of the total diseases are in direct correlation with nutrition. So we could get more and improve our well-being by means of nutrition in the cases in the major cases of the known illnesses. Sorry, but it was maybe important.
It's really related to what I was just about to ask. As COVID-19 hit hard our societies.
Yes.
I think many of us are really taking care even more about their health and trying to make decisions regarding having the right nutritions in order to avoid getting infected or healing better from a disease. As far as I understand, there are some guidelines regarding COVID-19 dietary issues, and I would like to ask if you can tell us a few words about it.
Mm-hmm. As I mentioned before, you should be aware of the way of behavior of your own body or your metabolism. You have to pay attention to the signals what is given by your metabolism or digestion system. But there are, of course, general truths or pieces of truths and statements what should be regarded in our daily life, such as improving our immune system. I think that's a general fact that should be incorporated in our daily diet. That's why there are several bioactive agents, vitamins and trace elements like selenium, zinc, and magnesium and some other trace elements which are associated with well-determined and long-established immune system promoting effect. If you involved in your diet many of these ingredients, bioactive agents, as well as some functional foodstuffs and other sort of meals rich in antioxidants, I think you can do much for your own health and improving your status. Most of the antioxidants are well known for their immune system improving effect. I wouldn't say because it's an other two-sided issue, because from a certain extent you can have contrary effects. So if you consume, let me say, 2,000 or more milligrams of vitamin C, that can trigger maybe contradictory and even adverse health effect. That's why it's important to follow these guidelines what you mentioned and what you were referring to, because or to consult some dietitians or nutrition scientists, because there are limits and there are intervals in terms of the dosage of these agents, and you should be aware of the right dosage. That's why it's important to broaden your knowledge in terms of nutrition, and to be aware what kind of ingredients, what kind of active components or vitamins can be incorporated, and in which extent, because you can, as I mentioned, from a certain extent you can even spoil the positive effect of a tentatively beneficial compound.
Can you give us some concrete example on this COVID-19 dietary guideline? What should we consume? What should we eat? What should we avoid? Could you please tell us a bit more about this topic?
You should avoid most of the civilization harms, but of course it's very easy to state, but very complicated to avoid, because every movement and actions which deploys your immune status and reduces the ability of your immune system would cause you more sensibility or susceptibility for COVID-19. So that's why I should suggest to you and for the audience as well, to do your utmost to improve the immune status. And there are, let me say, lots of dietary fibers which are known for the prebiotic effect. These prebiotics, these are oligosaccharides, can be found in banana, asparagus, even in onion, garlic, but they're highly rich in artichoke, let me say, or chicory. And most of the legumes and a lot of green material contain high amount of this probiotic. These are agents which are about really to increase the efficiency of your immune status. That's one. The other is consumption of highly dosaged, as I mentioned before, highly dosaged or properly dosaged vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and some amino acids as well, and trace some elements. And of course the way of our immune system and our metabolism, as I mentioned, is a highly complex one, and I think the physical activity is in some cases at least as important as nutrition. Nutrition is a very important factor, but you have to regard it as a complex issue. So try to live a complex and proper way of life. You have to pursue a good lifestyle, and very importantly, you should broaden the scope and knowledge on nutrition and functional foodstuffs.
Are there any researches currently running in your laboratories that are connected to this issue, connected to functional food?
Yes, I think just such kind of research activities are conducted nowadays in our laboratory. For example, we have got a new project which will be launched next month, and it's aiming at elaboration of milk and milk products based on A2 milk. So A2 milk is a specific type of milk which is exempt from allergenic casein, so protein types. That's why this specific milk and milk products based on this are regarded as anti-allergenic milk products or milk as a drink. And our endeavor currently is to come up with these anti-allergenic milk products, boosting with some immune system supporting agents. So we are about to carry on research activities on some medicinal herbs, and we try to find the best ways of extraction, obtaining the high quantity of relevant bioactive agents, and we would like to improve the beneficial health impacts of these milk products. And another one, which is a very important current trend nowadays, maybe I forgot to mention when you asked, that more and more consumers are getting closer to the vegetarian or vegan diet, and in response to this demand, we try to develop functional foodstuff based on mainly plant, protein-rich plants, which are capable of replacing meat in some types of food products. So it's another line of our research activity nowadays.
Wow, all sounds really interesting. Do you also involve your students in these projects?
We try to do so, and if someone feels inclination towards being integrated in such kind of activity, they are welcome and contact us, and we try to involve them in these activities as well.
What advice would you give to future students who are interested in studying in this field?
Good advice should be maybe they should find a topic which has got good linkage towards the manifestation of products. So I like such kind of research in which we can come up with an actual and tangible product. So food industry related research activities are such kind of research activities, as the outcome of such laboratory experiments in all cases manifest themselves in a new functional foodstuff or something, and they're very important to find a topic which is conducted in a collaboration of an industrial partner, because it's also a key guarantee for getting finally to a product, hopefully a product which will be represented in some years at the market.
Thank you very much. In case you are interested in our international degree programs, please visit our website, that is edu.unidep.hu, for more information. That was the podcast of today. Thank you very much, Professor, for sharing your knowledge with us on functional food. I think it was a very interesting topic. It is a very interesting topic, and hopefully we can discuss this issue again somewhere in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself and be healthy.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.